Teamster Power 767 Reality Check with Jeff Schenfeld and Garfield Hooper.
What's going on, brother? How's everything today?
Oh man, it's still a little chilly here. Still real white out here on the grass and a little bit on the roads, but it's clearing up.
Yeah, I see more. I don't know. I see more green today. Okay,
Yep.
and we are in Texas, right?
Yeah.
It could be covered with snow, and then a day later, you see the grass.
Yeah, I think it's supposed
So
to be like up in the 60s this week at some point. So
yeah, and then what possibly could come next weekend.
yep. We might be dealing with it
Yeah,
again. We'll see.
yeah. So today we're going to talk about the issues that happen with the. Well, we'll just call it the snowfall. I mean, it wasn't really a storm. There wasn't that much snow, but there was a lot of ice because we're in Texas.
It was a lot of snow for us.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. That's fair. With ice underneath, which is always the case in
Yeah,
Texas.
which is the real
So,
problem.
yeah, so the issue was, when does someone get their guarantee, if they show up and whatnot. And, it's important. We're going to clear this up. Okay. And so, Garfield, what does it say when the guarantee shall not apply?
Okay, so this is Article 58 language. So this is Southern Supplement language.
Yep.
So the part of this is Section C of Article
Hmm.
58. It says the guarantee shall not apply. Number one, this is pretty obvious, to an employee who fails to work a scheduled workday during the work week or is suspended or discharged for just cause. So that one's easy. That one's self-explanatory. Number two, when there are conditions beyond the employer's control, such as fire, flood, destruction, strikes, snowstorm, or acts of God, and these conditions cause curtailment of all or part of the employer's operation. However, if an employee is not notified that the facility or building is not operating and reports, they will be paid their daily guarantee. Unless requested by an employee, no paid entitlements will be used for any conditions listed in this paragraph when that employee's operation is not operating.
Yeah. So that's important. So one of the things is in years past, they would just take your option day.
Yeah,
Okay. But they put in the contract that they can't take it unless you want to use it.
yeah.
Okay. And which is important because it caused a lot. I mean, it was a major, major issue.
Yeah.
Okay. And
And
the
to be
other,
clear, if you want
yeah,
it, you can use
yep,
it. If you need to
yep,
use it for those days, you can. All you got to do is let your supervisor,
absolutely.
your management team know.
They just can't arbitrarily use it.
Yes.
But so here's the important part. It's, however, if an employee is not notified that the facility or building is not operating and reports, they will be paid their daily guarantee. Now, situation that happened is there were some people called on the for extra work on the preload. Okay. And you know, the extra work, there's no guarantee for the extra work. But by the time that they notify the driver who was already there, he usually comes in. So he's already there.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's whatever. He was already there and he should get his guarantee because he wasn't notified until after. And it's just a matter of how our the BAs are going to handle it,
Yeah.
right? What position they take, but we believe that he was there, he wasn't notified till after. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. He gets it. And and what happened in your building? I know there were a couple of drivers who
So
showed up
So we
at
had a
9.
bunch
What
of
is it?
drivers that showed up early because they were worried the roads were going to be bad, so they left their houses early. They got to the building around 8 o'clock, and about 8:15 they decided to call it. So our start time was 9:15, but they
Okay.
were already there. They were already in the building. My position is that they were there. Most of them had boards. They were clocked in and they were ready to go if we were operating, and they weren't told until afterwards. I was on my way to work when I got the phone call, and I was just right around the corner. So I went ahead and pulled up there so I could talk to the guys, talk to management. But like I wouldn't file because I wasn't there and I wasn't in the building. But we had several people that were. But my biggest issue is that in our center, the management didn't communicate with everybody. So they made the call at 8:15, but a lot of people still showed up at 9 o'clock because they were never texted or called or notified that.
Mhm.
So like a full hour had gone by and they were
Yep.
never notified.
Yep.
So
Yep.
to me, if they braved the streets and got there and showed up and were told when
Oh
they got
yeah.
to the building almost an hour after it was called, they should be paid their guarantee.
Not a
If
question.
nothing else, because that's, for lack of a better term, it's bullshit. Like everyone, we
Absolutely.
have 6 supervisors in our building, and we have about 130 drivers. So that's 21, 22 drivers per supervisor.
Their
Every
responsibility to
yeah,
tell.
every
Yep.
supervisor has a list of their drivers. Every supervisor has all their numbers. Send a fucking group text to all of them. Say, hey, we're not
Yep.
operating today. Even if you've already
Yeah.
seen them, send it to everybody. But they
Yeah.
didn't do that. So people
Nope.
drove, and getting to the hub wasn't the problem. It was getting back because like for us, it kind of hit like right around like the 8 o'clock area. So when I was
Yeah.
driving to the building, the roads were fine. When I was driving home, it was a disaster.
Yeah. Yep.
So, a lot of
Everything
people,
freezing.
so if people showed up an hour after I was there, they took real risk getting to work that morning. And
Absolutely.
when they could have easily been said, hey, don't worry about it, stay home.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and again, we were under emergency conditions. I think they ended 12 o'clock on Saturday. Okay.
On
PM.
Friday, 12 o'clock on Friday.
I mean Friday. Yeah,
Yeah.
on Friday. And it's your choice. If there's ice on the roads
Yeah.
and you don't feel safe, I'm not telling you what to do.
No.
I mean, just take everything into consideration, Like maybe you hit someone hits you, something happens. You don't want to do that. I mean, that's unbelievable. And then if you're on the truck, fishtailing and whatnot, accident, just like other people on the
Yep.
road, that's your choice. We won't say
Yep.
what for anyone to do. Just keep that in mind, though.
Yep. And
I mean,
if you have an accident, they're
yep,
absolutely going to write you up for it. That's going to be an
yep,
accident that goes on your record. They're not going to take, oh, well, it was icy out. And
yeah,
it's even something as simple as, you being parked making a delivery and somebody slides into you. There's nothing you
yeah,
can do about that. But the way this company operates with accidents and the like, you're still going to get charged with that. You're still going to get blamed for it. It's like you could have done something about the ice. And I explained this to a few other people that were trepidatious about skipping out and not showing up for work, especially on Friday. I
yeah,
said, look, company's not going to pay your deductible if you have an accident in your personal vehicle. You know, burning an option day if you wanted to do that is a lot cheaper than paying for car repairs. It's a lot less stressful than driving around an ice covered residential area with cars parked on the side of the road. They probably haven't moved in 2 days and probably won't move for another 2 days.
yeah.
And not to mention, people aren't don't shovel their driveways or their crosswalks in Texas because like ice and snow doesn't stick around for more than a day or two. So
Yeah.
most people don't bother doing it. So now you're walking across snow and ice. You could potentially fall. You could potentially slip and fall or hurt yourself. That's an injury that could put you out of work for so long. There's a lot of things that you have to consider when you go in and work on a day like that. And I know a lot of the northern guys, if you're listening to this, are like, "Oh man, what a bunch of pansies down here." We're just not prepared for it down here.
Yeah.
In Dallas, people can't drive when it's dry and sunny out. So
That's true. Yeah. Throw an ice cube on the ground and that's it. The day's over.
yeah,
You
it's
know?
it's a nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah. It's and one of the supervisors, one of the days sent a message to everyone, Friday and Saturday are normal days. And I got a call from a couple of people. I'm like, normal days. And then it was still emergency conditions, one of the days till 12 o'clock. I mean, you have to you have to decide
Yeah,
what you're gonna do. It's you got to take your safety. And a normal day, and remember this, if you're Monday through Friday, your normal day is days of Monday through Friday.
yeah,
So when they said Saturday, people call me were like, "Oh, I gotta work Saturday." I'm like, don't you work Monday through Friday? They can't force you in on on the days that you don't work. So that's, I mean,
yeah,
but and I don't mind answering. They need to start knowing this stuff, right? So
Eh,
that's, and I, like I
yeah.
said, don't mind answering. It's just, let's know this stuff so no one gets stressed out about it.
And another thing too is it's like my stance on it too about the emergency condition. Since the emergency condition didn't end until noon on Friday, anybody whose start time was before that, like they shouldn't get their option days burned for that day. Because I started us at 10:30 on Friday, and everybody was like, well, they're saying that the emergency conditions is over. Does that mean they can part? It's like, no, they shouldn't be able to, because your start time was before 10:30. You showed up, or you chose not to come in. I chose not to come in because the roads were slick as snot up here. And it's not. Yeah, you shouldn't get your option days burned for things like that because it's still slick out because we're still under emergency conditions.
Yeah, so it's just basically what we're saying is take care of yourself.
Yep.
Be safe. When these things happen, be aware of the situation, what your rights are. What the companies what they can do, and it leads to less stress. It does, and that's why we do this.
Yeah.
So
there's a little bit more of this section I want to go ahead and cover while we're at it. Obviously, number 3 here, to the weeks of Christmas and New Year's. So we're out of this, but the week of Christmas and New Year's, there's no 8-hour guarantee. Unless you want to work New Year's Eve, then you can request in writing that you have a full 8-hour day that day. So that you have to do it before the day before. So you would have to do it by the 30th if you wanted to request specifically.
Yeah, let me just say something. Right, it says to the weeks of Christmas and New Year's. I have to say something on this. This language is antiquated. Okay, it's there still, but it really doesn't. And here's the thing, if they're going to for some reason work a seasonal but not work even a TCD or regular driver, no, that's
still a seniority violation.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's a seniority violation, but you can't say all this, just, oh, we're not going to give you a guarantee, but we're going to work seasonals over regular drivers and do all this. So that has to, stewards need to remember all that. So it's just, I wish it was, cleaned up a little bit, but okay, maybe next time. But
maybe next time. Okay, and then just below that, I go, in the event an employee has a bona fide medical or dental appointment, the employee will, where possible, be allowed to work hours only to avoid losing an entire day's pay. The employee must furnish proof of said appointment. Any full-time employee may be required to report to work before their regular start time in such event, and they shall be paid at the rate of 1 1/2 times their straight time hourly rate for all hours worked before their regular starting time, in addition to the employee's regular guarantee. So basically that just means if you have a doctor's appointment, that you say you make a doctor's appointment at 9 a.m., which is like your start time. Be like, hey, I got a doctor's appointment. Here it is. Pull it up on your phone or whatever and show them, hey, I got a doctor's appointment. I got to go see them. Maybe last 30 minutes. I'll be in after that. And they can say, okay, well, we'll cover your air or whatever, and then you can come and take over your route. But yeah, that's Article 58 language. Like they have to give you time off for that. Like you don't necessarily get your guarantee that day as a result, but if you have a bona fide medical or dental appointment, then you can absolutely get that time off to make those appointments.
Just like anything else, if you're going to show up late for whatever reason, and again, you'll show that you have an appointment, they have to work. It was put in there for a reason, right?
Yeah.
It was put in the contract for a reason. But if you show up late, again, you lose your guarantee. You just don't lose your seniority.
Exactly.
Because plenty of times they've sent home part-timers. They'll try to send, oh, no, you came in late. Well, no, they don't lose their, seniority, just their guarantee. So, I mean, all this is important. Everything we speak about is important, but we thought, speaking on this because a lot, it just happened to a lot of people across the country.
Oh, yeah.
It was important. It was, yeah, absolutely. So, want to thank everyone, and for myself and Garfield, have a good day.
We all deal with national language, but on this podcast, when it comes to supplemental language, we deal mostly with the southern region. And as always, it's best to get advice from your local stewards or business agents. If you would like to reach out to us with any questions, we have an email address, 767realitycheck@gmail.com. That's 767realitycheck@gmail.com.
And remember, Strong people stand up for themselves, but the strongest people stand up for others.